Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey guys, all right, we need your help. So we are very close to 3,000 subscribers. We're averaging about 100,000 views a week, and we've got about 2,800 subscribers. So if you guys could hit the subscribe button for us, we would greatly appreciate it, and it would really help us in moving these projects along and our channel. So if you could do that for us, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and on to the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Wanted to let you guys in on this. I think we're pretty much there. I've got a couple little things to do tomorrow, just silly things, but all the major stuff I think is done to the car now. What a journey, boys! What a journey! I bought this car. For those of you that don't know, I went to buy my wife a '74 Super Beetle convertible, yellow, white with a white top, white interior, project car. And when I got there, the guy in Zephyr Hills, this was sitting there, and it was, you know, kind of a cream color with multiple colors really, but it was mostly cream and rust, and it was just sitting there rotting away, right? I mean, just absolutely rotting away. The hood was just completely rotted off. This front panel was gone. There was holes back here. The front fenders were just complete rot. The rear fenders were those fiberglass 2-inch wider ones. The windshield frame was rotted off of it, but it was there. It was laying inside. No floors, no dash pieces. The whole inside where the gas tank goes, all of that was just rotted to hell and back. I mean, this thing was ready to, you know, call it a day, call it a life, you know. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing with that? He said, I'm going to cut it up tomorrow. I said, what? He said, yeah, I don't want it and I don't need it and it's not worth anything, so, you know. I said, okay. I said, well, A, no you're not, and B, what do you want for it? Because I really didn't care, I just didn't want it to get cut up. I had never even seen one of these. Like, to actually know what it is, like to be able to put a name to it, I had no idea what this was, other than it was a Volkswagen. I just thought it was cool. When I saw it, I mean, like, it was in its worst possible state, you know what I mean? And there was a tree growing out of the middle of it. I mean, it was fucking terrible. And he told me $300. So I bought this car for $300. And we brought it home. Life happened. It sat here in the backyard of my dad's house for 2 years, almost 2 years. And in November of 2023, me and my wife came back from Travel X-Ray CT. We were in Taos, New Mexico, and we came back, and knowing we were going to be here kind of permanently at that point. And I told her, I said, you know, she didn't want me to go back into hotels, and I didn't want to go back into hotels. For those of you that don't know, I've run the maintenance departments of the Disneyland hotels in California, the Montage Beverly Hills, Fairmont Newport Beach, Baywood Hotels here in Florida. I was there. Corporate regional maintenance director. I had like 19 hotels, plus at the same time I was a task force general manager. I was kind of the fixer. I was the guy that they sent to the worst hotels, and my job was to go in there and fix them. Both from a hotel standpoint, from a maintenance standpoint, and everything else. And, you know, that's what I did. But it takes a toll on you after a while. I do a lot of traveling, and we just didn't want to do it anymore. So we decided we were going to build cars. Me and Dad were going to build cars and sell them. That was kind of the idea. We didn't really have an idea about a YouTube channel. At the time, I think we were called the Road Less Traveled or something. I had a channel, but I was, you know, it was a couple things from out west, you know, that kind of stuff. Nothing to do with cars. And one day we were getting ready to start this. I said, you know what? I'm going to video this. I'm going to put it on YouTube. Let's just see what happens, right? I watch all these guys, you know, and we do cool stuff. You know, why not? Let's go for it. And so we made a YouTube channel. And right now we have 3,000 plus subscribers, almost 2 million views, and just a great community and group of followers, and just, you guys are amazing. And what a life change, you know. And it all really started right here, right? And so, and that's where you get a little emotional about it. You think, you know, this is the beginning. Like this car right here is the beginning of Brown's Riding Custom, as far as YouTube's concerned. And me and Dad building cars. We hadn't built cars together in years. So I was all over the country. We messed around with some stuff, but there was no way to actually build cars, right? And yeah, so to be at this point with this car, albeit we should have been there a year ago, you know, there was about 8 months we took off from this car where we just didn't want to touch it. We were sick of it. It had given us so many battles and tested our skills and abilities, being that we weren't Volkswagen guys and didn't know how to build a Volkswagen. I literally have learned and scavenged every piece of this together. And it's been a journey, but man, it's been great. And today was just kind of the culmination of that, of all of it. And, you know, we got the rear shocks on, and we got the rear shocks on, and then we got those adjusted, and then turned around and started adjusting brakes. And what a difference that made. I started adjusting the brake shoes on the back, and I had never done that. You know, like many things on this car, I had never done it. That was a Ron thing. I was doing other stuff when he was putting them on. And I had to teach myself how to do it, you know. And like many of you, I watched a YouTube video, right? Slade's VW. Thank you, brother. You've helped me more than you will ever know on this car. On very technical things that most people, there's a lot of videos, but people don't know how to like do it well and explain it well. And the piece that you need to like know, they don't go over, right? So it's like, really, you watched a 20-minute video and you went right over what I needed. But Slade's VW, if you guys are watching this and you're looking for a good Volkswagen channel, he's pretty good. And no, we're not sponsored by him, and no, I've never met him, but man, I hope I do one day. I'll shake his hand and thank him, because he's come through for me a lot. But adjusted the brakes in the back. Got in the car. I had a pretty good brake pedal all of a sudden, like a normal car, and I was like, oh shit, okay, which inspired me to come up here and do the front. And then the front, you know, was one of those deals where the actual holes for the adjuster, where you would actually take that star adjuster and spin it, it's on the front of the drum, not the back. So that means I had to take the wheels off, which you guys know I hate taking the wheels off this thing, but I did it. And got them adjusted, and they were way out. I mean, they were really, really, really not right. And got it all adjusted and put it down. I thought, shit, all right, I'm gonna adjust the steering. So I adjusted the steering a little bit. It's way better, like way, way better. And I took this out. I said, let's see what happens. And it was so different of a ride, of a trip, than what I'm used to taking in this. It wasn't loose anymore. It was tight. The steering was tight. The brakes work. Stop on a dime and give you change. This literally has the best brakes of any car we've ever built, by a long shot. And the reason for that is I've got 3 days in the brakes, but I got them. And it was just staying in the fight, you know, not letting this thing beat me, you know. And I'm proud of that, to be completely honest with you. You know, there's a lot of this stuff, you know, it'll get you down in a hurry if you don't, you know, and it'll keep you there. But you just got to stay in the fight. You just got to keep working and trying, and you know, sometimes buying parts and, you know, all the things. But I took this for a drive, and it tracked straight down the street. It ran fantastic, had good power, brakes weren't dragging. I had great brakes. It steered good. I was able to take a corner at like 30 miles an hour in this thing, and it didn't sit there and you know, make noises in the rear where it was, you know, dragging and bottoming out and rubbing. It just did what it was supposed to do. Like, I mean, it was like driving a new one, and it might even be better than driving a new one. To be 100% honest, it probably is. But oh my God. Like, if it would have done this, if I could have just had one ride in this car 2 years ago when I started this, right, in November, somebody brought one over and took me for a ride in it. If they did, it would have been a life-changing thing. I would have felt completely different about this car, but I had never been in one, never done one, didn't know anything about them, so on and so forth. So, you know, this is the only one I've ever been in. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd put it up against about any of them at this point. It ain't about that, but I'm just saying, as far as clean, runs good, rides good, does all the things you need it and want it to do, man, this thing's pretty much there. It's got the tech you want. It's got the sound system. It's just cool. Rides great too with those air shocks. I know I bitched about them, but man, they ride good. When they're not blown, they ride good. But yeah, so we do have a couple little things figured out. I do have brake lights. I just don't have one here. Need a bulb. Bulb's burn out. Just need a bulb tomorrow. This cocoa mat, I'm going to put some Velcro on the back side of this. I'm going to go to Lowe's, get some Velcro and snap that down. Same with the duck board. I'm going to try to secure that onto here so it doesn't slide. And I need to go to like Hobby Lobby or something and get like a black sticker, like a round sticker to put right here to cover that hole. Clean this thing up and it's ready. And that is, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you boys. I fought this thing. Literally fought it for the last 2 years. I had a lot of fun, but I fought this damn thing. Every step of the way, there was always something, right? The electrical pretty much broke me on cars. I pretty much wanted to give up building cars after the electrical on this. Because there was no, like, simple diagram that you just follow. Like, everything was different, you know? And what really screwed me on this was the headlight switch and the hazard switch and the relays. There's like 10 different ones. So, you know, and the directions they send you were terrible. Thank God for the Thing Shop. They sent me this one and actually had good directions with a wiring diagram. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then I was able to easily do it, and then it worked. But I needed to know what wires went to where. And I didn't have much to go by. I did have this, which is about half right. This is the wiring diagram for a Volkswagen Thing. And, you know, it's sort of right. But there's a lot of things on there that aren't. So, you know, you got that. We fought the paint on this. You know, the Florida weather and the Florida heat, and using things we shouldn't have used, like this wax and grease remover. Some of you are probably using it and saying, this stuff works great. It doesn't work good for us. And that's just, you know, that's hot rodding, right? You know, some things work good for some people and don't work for others. But fought the paint. You know, the front suspension on this was an absolute nightmare, and it shouldn't have been. But you know, the guy I bought it from took the thing spindles off of it, and put on early bug spindles. And then, you know, me not knowing anything about Volkswagens, trying to explain that to some of these guys was impossible. And you know, just struggled with the ball joints and everything, but we got them. We got it. The engine's been a battle. Carburetor, the J-Bugs 34 pick carburetor was a freaking nightmare. You know, we did have some big wins with this car that were just awesome fun moments when we hooked up the sound system in this and the radio with the head unit and stuff, and we're sitting here jamming out in the garage, me and Dad just sitting in here just rocking out. That was fun. My God, that was fun. That was hot rodding right there. You know, that's why we do this shit. And it's for those moments like that, right? You know, I've got a picture of this car sitting right here. No fenders on it, just rolling, and the body on the frame sitting here. And I had just put the back seats in. No cocoa mats, none of that, just put the back seats in it. And no front seats in it yet. And I don't even think I had front seats yet. I think I got these from Eddie later. But I got a picture of me and Dad sitting in the back of this, smiling, just having a good time, you know? And those are the things at the end of the day that matter. Those are the memories that I'm going to take away from this car. You know, we've had struggles. We took it to Louisville Sturrow Nationals, and I could not get it started to get it off the freaking car trailer. And everybody's looking at it. We pulled up to registration, and there's, you know, hundreds of people out there. And I'm sitting there cranking this damn thing, and it won't start. It just flat won't start. And I got a guy comes up to me. I think it was like a 57 like Nomad wagon. And he's from California. He used to run a V-dub shop. And he goes, yeah, do this, do that, do this. And we managed to get it to start. And then it was, don't turn it off, right? You know, we were afraid of it at that point, you know. Which is a hell of a situation to put yourself in, right? And we got it off the trailer, and then we tried to drive it in. And, you know, it was sitting so low that I noticed that we were rubbing the paint off here with me in the passenger seat. Ron was driving because I was just going to walk in. Guy didn't want to hurt the car. And then it rubbed the paint. And I'm like, are you kidding? So, you know, guess we're painting that fender again, right? You know, I mean, here we go. It, you know, it's just always something, you know. And I wanted to drive the car around the fairgrounds and enjoy it and take people for rides and do all the things. And I was terrified of it. I didn't even want to, we weren't sure it would even start to get it off the fairgrounds. And it was like, what the hell, you know? And, yeah, you know, it had its issues, all of which have been fixed. But things that, I mean, you know, guys that build Volkswagens every day probably don't have these problems, you know? And some of you watching this are probably going, my God, man, anything and everything that could have went wrong. It did. But at the end of the day, we saved this car. And that's what we're about. That's why we do it. You know, I'm going to probably sell it, you know, just to help pay bills, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, I wish I could keep it. You know, my wife loves it. She thinks it's awesome. I won't let her drive it because I fucking doesn't stop, steer, do any of the things. Afraid she's gonna die in it, you know. And now she can drive it. I'll let her drive it anywhere she wants at this point. I actually told her, I think yesterday, I want her to drive it and tell me what she thinks, you know. And yeah, I mean, just what a journey, boys, to be at this point. Because right now, I can start this car, other than a brake light, I could start this car up, and I'm pretty sure I could drive it anywhere. And it's gonna be pretty good. You know, I've wanted to take this to shows so bad. You know, we got Langer. I know you're probably gonna watch this. He's got a blue one. It's like a grayish blue. And if I got that wrong, man, I'm sorry. But I've pretty much seen it in pictures. But It's my wife's co-worker's husband. He's down in St. Pete, and he's always running around and doing TikToks and stuff. And man, I'd love to get in on that, but to drive this to St. Pete would probably take me 2 hours one way. And, you know, would it make it? You know, back then I had no idea, you know. Now I'd drive it down there. I wouldn't even care. I'd just jump on 19 and head down, you know. Stay off the highway because this thing doesn't go fast enough. You'd die. But, you know, what a journey. What a journey. I will say this. It's exactly the way I want it. Right now. I have no regrets. I have no, there's just no, I wish I would have done something different. You know, as much of a battle as it's been, I've learned from every step of this, and it's made me better. It's made me a better mechanic. It's made me a better car builder. It's made me a better person, you know. Just dealing with constant, you know, challenges, you know, and overcoming it, and overcoming the laziness factor where you get up in the morning, you're like, the last thing I want to do is go work on that God blessed Volkswagen thing. I'd rather work on anything. I'll go dig a hole to China. I don't want to work on the thing. And I was there for a long time with this, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm proud of myself for kind of overcoming that and stepping up, getting in here, not being afraid of it, and going to war with this damn thing. And, you know, what a reward. I don't even know how to say that. What a reward. That drive today, God, that was great. It was so good, boys. It's so good. But anyways, I think we're there. So my battery's about to die on the camera, so I'm going to hurry up here. But I hope you all have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I got to run around and get a couple things for this, and then we'll finish this completely. And then hopefully tomorrow afternoon, you guys will see me working on the 1958 Chevy Apache again. And God, I can't wait. We're going to do that door panel there, and we're going to do the brown you see around the window, get that down to bare metal, and then the inside of this cab is pretty much ready for primer. Little bodywork and primer. We still have the rest of back window area, but for right now I'm not worried about that. I just want to get it primed. And then I'm going to start out here, probably right here. Get this off, come across the top, get all this dialed in, the firewall dialed in, and all of this, and just work my way around. Ron will be back in 2 or 3 days. He'll be back on the 9th at some point, and probably won't be back to do anything to the car till the 11th or 12th, just because my aunt's in town. But once we do, I'll have a gallon of, well, 2 gallons of sprayable epoxy white, and we're going to get this thing primed and get that patch panel on, the 2 patch panels on the lower end of the door, and get this rolling. But anyways, hope you guys are having a great night. Thank you for putting up with me for almost 2 years of video in this car. I know it gets monotonous and everything else, but I appreciate you guys being patient. At least it's cool. Nothing else. But this is pretty much there, and you will be seeing primarily this from this point forward. So stay tuned for all of that. And once this gets done, it'll be the Chevelle, the 65 Chevelle SS. And I do think now that I'm getting pretty good at brakes, I'm going to tackle the brakes on this car. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you in the morning.